What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is me, Mukala Kabongo, and once again, we're bringing you another Athletes Corner segment. And this time, we have Lynn English boys basketball team that came by the studio to talk about their season. They finished with the 16-6 record. They won the Greater Boston League regular season crown. They made the state tournament once again for a third straight year under head coach Alvin Abreu. So we talked about all that going on with the Lynn English boys basketball program. So check this Athletes Corner out, and I hope you enjoy it. Hello and welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner. We got the dogs in the house. Lynn English boys basketball team is here. These my guys. I don't know what y'all in store for this interview, but we're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way. But they gotta introduce themselves.
Just say my name.
Yeah, man. How else you supposed to introduce yourself?
Ian grade, Ian height, position.
Kyle. Denzel. Marvin.
Josh, J5, the big drop.
Pierre.
Jose.
Lewis.
Carmelo. Paul Will, senior captain, number 10.
How you gonna talk when you got two mics?
Oh, shit.
This is how this show's going. Coach, what's going on, man? How finally basketball season's completely over. Everything is done. Spring sports is here. So let's reflect on the season. This was a hell of a ride for you guys. That up and down ride these guys put you through, but entertaining season nonetheless, man. Just when you sit back and you look at everything you guys accomplished, just how good do you feel about what these guys did?
Entertaining, right? You see that with introductions. We saw that right now. We probably need to practice for that as well. But it's been a it was a roller coaster of a year. I'm super proud of our guys, how much we've grown. We've probably seen, from highlighting just Everett down 20-something with the our conference title on the line. Yeah. Coming back and winning that, winning a tough Cambridge down the road, late in the season. But I'm proud of these guys, man. It didn't end the way we wanted to. We obviously we were on the other side of history of that 199 game at home.
You don't want to talk about that.
But overall, I tell you guys, it's bigger than basketball. And I'm always proud of them, and we're a family, and they always know they can count on me for anything.
Yeah, and it was also kind of a turnover because you graduated. We graduated guys transferred, so a lot of guys had new roles this season. Just how do you like the way everyone stepped up into the new roles that they didn't have the year before?
Yeah, I mean, they had to deal with a lot of talk that we graduated some key guys, or transferred some key guys that we missed. But credit to all these guys, they stepped into roles where, yeah, we had a lot of seniors, but probably had like 2 or 3 guys that had more significant minutes. A lot of guys evolved in their role. Yeah. Even this kid right next to me, he's evolved as a captain. He probably didn't take his warm-up off last year, and he evolved into a captain role as a starter, and he evolved, along with other guys that people, never thought they would evolve in their roles. But we always have faith that with the hard work, they'll be able to, shine in their role.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of Paul Will, you had one of the biggest highlights of the season with that steal against Everett, man. That game, that was just a wild game in general for those that weren't there because it looked bad. It looked bad. I'm at the top just talking trash about my guys, how they ain't come ready to play. It looked bad, and then a flip switch. You guys came back in that moment. You needed that big play. Just how was that? That was kind of like one of the highlights of the season for you guys. Just that game in general.
Yeah, like I said in the interview, I feel like it was just personal from the beginning. We came out though we kind of underestimated them, cause they really had a lot of confidence going into that game, and they kind of they were at their home court. Yeah. They had already beat us at our home court, and then they jumped on us early. They hit a lot of big shots, and then obviously their best player was he was dominating that game, but we took him out the game, and then we got the job done.
What was the difference? What switched?
I think it was just a sense of urgency. I think that's one thing that was we really had struggled with throughout the season, but that game we really locked in.
Yeah. Another game, the Cambridge game. That was another game, guys, that came down to the wire. You got back and forth game? Because always the talk is you guys can't beat teams outside the GBL, or you guys can't compete with teams outside the GBL. But that game also showed that you guys can compete with anybody. And just how was that? Just you guys having an understanding of you were down late in the game, and then you guys scored like 11 straight points to win that game.
I mean, that game again, it came down to our defense, but then the offense, like KB, like he carried us on that end for that game. Like we really got to give that one to him. Like he took over. I think he had like 30 or something, and he hit the final shot, clutch free throws.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, 29. He had 29.
29.
Yeah. He did have 30, but we don't want to talk about that 30. Josh, my man Josh over here. First of all, congratulations for Framingham State.
Thank you.
You also, another player. Coach always had big expectations for you. In your role on the team as just being a dog, but how was this season for you overall?
This season was a good season for me overall because at first, when the season first started, I really was questioning if I wanted to play basketball again. But Coach, I was like, nah, I'm not letting that happen. And he kind of just told me that he wasn't just giving up on me. So I came back because I was kind of scared to accept that role as a leader. And I was trying my best this season. Paulo did a good job at us being a captain. Yeah. And so I just tried to be a leader for them. There was bumps through the road, and I just kind of just always came back and tried for them, no matter what I was going through.
Was this the most vocal you've been on the team in your years playing?
Yeah, probably, because years prior we had captains like Tyrese, and in my sophomore year, Captain Jesse Maggs goes to Endicott. Now he was a good captain. Yeah. But this year, Coach Al told me I had to be more vocal because when my energy's down, the whole team's energy's down, and that can mess things up.
Yeah. All right, Denzel, my man. A lot of expectations for you. A lot of eyes were on you, man. Kind of up and down performance. At what point late in that season did things really start going for you? Started going well offensively for you?
I would say Coach Al told me more to attack the rim, and everything else would come to me, and I just, trust in him, listen to what he's talking about, and it just flows good, and trusting in my teammates, and everything was just going how it was supposed to. I would say the beginning of the season, I was really forcing shots and settling, and the more I attacked, and everything else just came later on.
Do you think your underrated part of your game was your defense? Because I don't think people just think of you as shooter.
Very, very underrated.
You play really good defense when needed to. Or you think that's something people should actually highlight more? Yes,
I do. I feel more defense. I do need to play more defense, but I feel like when it was really needed, I really stepped up and focused on that defensive part of the game when I knew other guys on the team would come through and all the other stuff that needed to be done.
It's all that McDonald's you be eating. That's why you gotta cut back. The real MVP, KB. Don't argue with me about it. Don't argue. Or if you want to argue about it, you can. You saw what was going on, man.
Yeah.
you saw the social media posts, man.
I seen everything.
What were your thoughts on the commentary from people that never even watched you guys play?
A lot of people, they hated on us this season. They didn't know what we've been through inside the gym and outside the gym, but that was just all talk on the outside. We really tried blocking it out and doing our own thing this season.
Yeah. You were playing with a messed up foot the latter part of the season, man. How was that? Just being able to go out there, not being 100%, but you still were able to put up the numbers and still give your team a chance to win games.
Even though I wasn't 100, I still tried my best for my team, and I put 100% on the floor every game for my team.
Yeah. Coach, man, just talk about him. Kyle playing damn near with 1 foot the late part of the season and into the tournament, man. Just how proud of you just what he would, because he could have sat out if he wanted to.
I mean, he's a lot of these guys. They all cut from different cloth. They're dogs. Kyle, 2 years ago, I probably gave him a nickname of Kawhi Leonard because he does it all. He has big hands. That's probably why he misses some shots, because that's just what Kawhi has as well. But he has a knack for the ball, for him to steal the ball. He's probably one of the top offensive rebounding guards probably in the state, I would say.
Right.
He's able to time that, and once he gets his mitts on those, it's probably you're not taking it from him. But there was just games where he just, probably all of our other conference games, Charlestown put us on his back, Cambridge put us on his back, right? In those games, he came to play, and he really put us on his back. Even while he had a foot, I think, Achilles problem that those practices he wanted to practice, I had to sit him out.
Yeah.
But that's just who he is, and that's just collectively how each and every one of these guys have that in them. And that's why when he says it takes it personal, it's because that's what I tell them that.
Yeah.
They're kids, and we're adults, and we're coaches, right? And for adults to hate on kids, I don't think that's right. And they need to know that.
Yeah.
I'm very transparent with them. Anyone in my program, I let them know to acknowledge and be aware of their feelings, and don't be shy, in expressing that in a respectful way. But I told them the disrespect is not good neither.
Yeah, definitely. Man, I ain't forget about you, Mello. We'll get the mic over there. Lewis he was starting to break out.
Best game of the year.
Injury happened, so he got to sit out. But what did you see before that injury, as he was starting to hit that stride?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. That was a rough day for Lynn English basketball, just because he's coming off of his best game of the year, but he was already trending up. He had 25 that game, best game of the year. He carried us that day. We had a slow start, switched up the lineup a little bit that day. He just carried us, put us on his back. I want to say he had like 11 in the first quarter. And he's just a hard worker. He's a blue-collar, hard-working kid. All summer he was working out, running hills, stairs, everything, to the point I tell Lewis sometimes to cut back a little bit, but that's kind of how I was, so I understand him. It's unfortunate, but I know he's going to come back stronger than he was before, and we definitely missed him the rest of the season. And we knew that because he was just a different spark. He was electric. He'll jump in the passing lanes and get some big-time dunks that'll get us going. But he was a player that we definitely missed, definitely down the stretch.
You passed the mic to Luke. Was it like just being out and not being able to play? And now you have to watch the game. And did you pick up certain things that that's going to help you during your offseason get back?
Yeah, like the bad habits I had, and then watching how they play as a team, telling them what they could do to win the game.
Yeah, offensively, what was clicking for you during that late stretch before the injury? I mean, what did you kind of figure out? Because this was your first year with significant varsity minutes, right?
Mm-hmm. I say like driving in.
Yeah.
Don't matter if I get the foul or not.
No, yeah, man. Use that length. Mello, Mr. Clyde over there. Another one. Kind of a slow start to the season for you, man. And you got moved to the bench, came off as a sixth man. Your first game as a sixth man, I think you had like 21 against Lynn Classical. Was that the first one?
Yeah.
Was that you just taking that role and just trying to thrive in it and doing what coaches needed you to do to come off and give the team a spark?
Honestly, I feel like as a senior being here for 3 years, I feel like I should be more like helping the team out and stuff. And I feel like in the beginning, I wasn't really locked in. So coming off the bench, it gave me like some type of motivation that I need to go harder. Mm-hmm. And that's what really like drove me to that point.
Yeah. And what would you say about your game that grew since your sophomore year? You wasn't shooting threes. You wasn't shooting that many threes. You put the goggles on, you started making them, and then
finally see.
Right, and then the next 2 years you became an even better shooter. What did that take? Was that just a lot of off-season work, or you just found a way you just knew you had to expand your game?
Honestly, I felt like I had to expand my game, and I put that work in off season, so it gave me the confidence to shoot it in game.
Yeah, that's what happens when you run them stairs with us. I'm like, this guy, somebody ain't do it. Paul, he was there, right? You was there. He was there. Marvin was there. Marvin was. You the only one that wasn't there, man. You was the only one. Paul, I know you had to address some things. This is your time to address whatever you needed to address. This is a kids-friendly show, remember?
Oh, okay.
This is a kids-friendly show.
Yeah. I just feel like to everyone watching, like my coach said, it's not cool to hate on kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all going back and forth. Like, I understand, like, people in the city, like, you guys have your favorite teams, like the high schools that you probably went to, but, like, at the end of the day, when it comes to that state tournament time or, like, the out-of-conference games, like, you got to just show love to everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All my guys here, like, we came out and supported. Like, we got friends from every single school, and I'm probably certain you guys did, too, when you were in high school, so you don't got to act like it's, like, animosity or anything.
Stop being weirdos is pretty much what he's saying. Stop being weirdos. Especially, I found out that somebody made a burner account just to hate. Like, who makes a burner account?
That's some stuff they be doing in English, like
just to come in. Every time I post something, they want to disagree or want. Man, you weirdos. I can't forget about Pierre, man. Pierre.
I'll speak for him.
What a season for Pierre. No, what a season for Pierre, man. If nobody knew about him, he definitely came out of nowhere. He definitely, finished averaging a double-double. Made the biggest play at Everett. Even against Cambridge, he was on the offensive glass. Mansfield, he was on Marshfield, I should say, he was on the offensive glass a lot, man. Just what he said about his game and just his the step he took this season.
Big time. Before I get to Pierre, I just want to show a lot of credit to Josh Anderson's involvement. He's been with me with Mello, Dens, anybody else for the last 3 years. And this year, talking about when he said expanding game, like what Mello said, he expanded that mid-range towards the later end of the season. That really opened up a lot of games for us. Yeah. I told him all year that, first off, he said he wasn't playing. I said he had no choice. He just kind of sugarcoated that. And he stepped up in the way that we needed. We knew that we were a positive team when he was in the game, rebounding-wise with the best of them. He's our rim protector. He probably leads the league in technicals.
In charges.
Rasheed Wallace.
One highlight, like what he just said, highlight in Charlestown. He took 4 straight charges, and the only reason they didn't give him the 4th one was because he took 3 right away. And he had the 4th. They just didn't give it to him. He picked up his 4th foul. But Josh was our anchor all year. He was our anchor. When he wasn't in the game, it was real rough for us. When he was in that game, because of his energy, his enthusiasm, his Draymond Green mentality, which he likes to go by, it affected us and helped us. So, kudos to him. He had a hell of a senior year. So I want to give credit to him on that. Good job, Josh. Thank you. Pierre's a kid who, he was on our JV last year. He's only been playing basketball for about 2 years. Okay. He's an athlete. He's an athlete who just knows one speed, where he just flies around, is physical. He can probably lay up. He's probably our best finisher in traffic. Once he rebounds, he's able to push it in transitions, which made us faster as a team. Yeah. And then he can guard multiple positions as well when he wanted to. Towards the beginning of the season, he was our best free throw shooter as well. He's just a kid with a jack of all trades. He does a lot. He does a lot on the floor. And I told him in the summertime that by the end of next season, they're gonna know his name, right? And he kind of was like, "What are you talking about? Just put in the work." I'm like, they're gonna know your name because we can see the potential. He's only been playing for about 2 years, and he definitely left his mark in that 1 year. I wish I had him for 2 more years. I wish he was a sophomore, but he had one hell of a year, GBL All-Star, and when he's going, he's very hard to stop.
Yeah, definitely. Josh came a long way from almost fighting on the court that first year in the Bovary tournament.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I got the video. Seniors, what's next? Are y'all still trying to figure things out? Weighing your options. Start with you.
I'm still weighing out my options. Trying to figure things out.
Having conversations.
Here and there.
There's some interest.
With basketball.
Basketball, college in general, just.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids, we do study all twice a week. We have a no D policy, and it's to put them in a position when they're seniors to put them in the best spot. And then eventually they got to make a decision. But my goal is always to make sure that our kids have options if they want to. Right, college is not for everybody, but we're not just strictly talking about basketball all the time, because at the end of the day, basketball is going to start bouncing, but we want to make sure that they have an opportunity after, but then also being disciplined enough to put themselves in a spot to get one. A lot of our seniors, with the exception of Josh, are still trying to weigh out all their options and see what they want to do. Waiting on for the college money, the financial aid packages for them to come through, if they're looking right or not. And I'm confident that no matter where they go graduating from our program, that they're going to have discipline from what they learn from our program, being good teammates, being on time.
Yep.
All the times we ran, if they're late, they know it. Hopefully that translates into the real world. Learn how to be a leader, learn how to take constructive criticism, learn how to, perform under adversity. That's a couple of things that I tell them all the time, that you being part of our program, you're going to deal with all those things. Yes, you're going to get haters and all that stuff, but that's just life. You're going to get that. And I double down on the Paul Wills message. I mean, we all from the same city. It's been pretty sad what I've seen here in the city. Not just us. I'm talking about in just general.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to play victim here. I'm just saying in general, I miss those times when it's Lynn versus another town or another team. It's Lynn versus that. Not versus Lynn Classical, Lynn English, Lynn Tech, St. Mary's, Kip. It's not none of that. And the divide that we've experienced as a basketball community this winter was very sad.
Yeah.
And it was mostly impacted by people that are not in it. And that's the disappointing part about it, that I hope changes for the better of the city and the better, for most importantly, the kids behind me.
Yeah.
These kids feel when y'all right. So you got to make sure that you're paying attention and thinking twice, because I got kids of my own, and when your kids hurt, you hurt.
Yeah. That's the diplomatic response. This is undiplomatic. You weirdos, stop being so damn weird. Stop hating, especially on these
All
guys.
love, man. All
Yeah, it's
love.
all love, but y'all some haters. Y'all need to recognize, like I said, the real MVP's right behind me. I ain't gonna say no more. Coach, appreciate you guys for coming through. Powell had this guy in class. The rest of them were in the class for other reasons. We won't talk about. You guys been watching athletes. That's all wanted McDonald's all the time. Yeah, McDonald's or Wendy's, man.
Hey, shout out to my coaches too, man.
Yeah.
This doesn't move without them.
Definitely.
As a head coach, you always, you're the face, but this doesn't move without your assistant coaches and everyone around. So, shout out to my coaches.
Yeah, definitely, man. We are out of here. I told y'all, these are my guys
I got
here.
one more shout out. I just want to give a shout out to my guy Rashid. East Side with Rashid.
Riley, we out of here. Once again, I'd like to give a big thank you to the Lynn English boys basketball team for dropping by, Coach Alvin Abreu as well for coming in to chat with me. It was a great time talking with those guys. A lot of those guys I had in my TV production class, either they were in the class because they were supposed to be in it, or they were in the class because they weren't supposed to be in it, but they all just dropped by the class to hang out. So it was great catching up with my guys. Hope you all enjoyed that interview. I'm Kyle Kabonga. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.